Kendrick Lamar once rapped, "They act like us, but they not like us." That line resonates deeply when we examine the difference between racial appearance and cultural inheritance. It's not about exclusion, it's about precision. The Black Church in the United States was born from the specific trauma and triumph of African Americans descended from enslaved people. Its theology, rituals, and social role are rooted in the legacy of chattel slavery, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, and the Civil Rights Movement. Phillip Anthony Mitchell, being from Trinidad, may share black skin, but that alone does not make his church a black church in the historical sense. Caribbean religious traditions have their own rich histories, shaped by colonialism, migration, and resistance, but they are not interchangeable with the black church tradition forged in the U.S. South. To conflate the two is to erase the specificity of struggle that gave rise to institutions like the AME Church, the National Baptist Convention, and the civil rights-era sanctuaries that survived bombings and birthed movements. This is not about gatekeeping, it's about honoring lineage. The Black Church is a cultural institution with theological depth, historical trauma, and communal memory. It is shaped by the spirituals sung in hush harbors, the sermons preached under threat, and the organizing done in the face of systemic violence. To claim that legacy without living its history is to miss its meaning. When figures like Phillip Anthony Mitchell claim Jesus wasn't a black man, they often reflect a misunderstanding or a deliberate distancing from the historical and geopolitical realities of the ancient world. Let's be clear, Jesus was born in a region that today is called the Middle East, but that term didn't even exist until the 20th century. Before 1942, the area was simply part of Africa and Asia, geographically, culturally, and politically. In fact, ancient Palestine sat at the crossroads of northeastern Africa and southwestern Asia. Egypt, Ethiopia, Nubia, these were Jesus' neighbors. His family fled to Egypt to escape persecution, and many early Christian communities flourished in African cities like Alexandria and Carthage. The idea of a Middle East was a colonial invention designed to separate Africa from its cultural and historical ties to the Levant and Arabia. So when we ask, was Jesus black? We're not just talking about skin tone, we're talking about cultural proximity, historical lineage, and the racial politics of representation. In a world where whiteness has been falsely universalized, reclaiming Jesus as a man of color, likely with dark skin, Afroasiatic features, and a life shaped by imperial oppression, is a theological correction, not a political stunt. Statements like Mitchell's often reveal a disconnect from the lived experience of African Americans, especially those descended from enslaved people. For us, identifying with a Jesus who was colonized, criminalized, and crucified by empire is not just symbolic, it's spiritually liberating. It affirms our dignity, our struggle, and our place in the divine story.